And I know it's probably unfair, but he's always going to be compared to Tua. Tua and Taulia, they're always going to be linked, especially if Taulia goes to Alabama. How do they compare with each other? I mean, what does Alabama fans are more familiar with Tua now? What does Taulia do, and how does that compare to Tua?
Well, for one, Tua is a dual threat quarterback. Taulia is a pro-style quarterback. He's not as fast as Tua. He is very accurate, just like what his brother is. He has a very strong arm. Both of them come in a shorter stature. Taulia measured in at 6 foot. I don't know how accurate that is. He may be 5'10", 5'11". He's a very short quarterback. But again, he has a very strong arm like Tua does. Tua is not the tallest quarterback either. Very accurate with the football. Both of them make very good decisions. At Thompson High School last year, which is his first year playing football on the mainland, he had an excellent season. I believe he won, I think it was the 7A Football Player of the Year in the state of Alabama. He had 36 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Had a chance to see him play against Mountain Brook, which was also one of the best football programs in the state of Alabama, and he carved that defense up. I think he only had 3 incompletions that game, and 2 of them were drops. So we're talking about a quarterback who was definitely elite. Yes, he's always going to be linked to Tua, but in my opinion, I think Tua at this point, when Tua was going into his senior year, I think he was a little ahead of Taulia, just as far as a talent standpoint.
And Ben, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I mean, obviously from seeing Taulia play, he can make all the throws. I mean, there's probably not another quarterback in this class, Bo Nix included, that can make all of the throws as consistently as Taulia can. To me, the one thing, and you know, obviously the family and Tua and Taulia both much better than I do, but the one thing that I recognize about both of them is they just have sort of a calming presence about them. I mean, I remember when we went and spoke with Taulia's coach, I guess that was last spring now, he had just gotten into the program, and the coach at Thompson was already, it was clear to him that Taulia was a special kind of player. That it's not just what he can do athletically, what he can do as a quarterback, but there's something different about him, his presence in the locker room, what he does for other guys. And from what we can see in the second half of the national championship against Alabama, Tua obviously has very similar qualities to that. And so I think that if you're going to be comparing those two, it's not the football side of things that you can probably make the most comparisons with. It's what they bring to a locker room and just to a huddle.
Yeah, going off of that, it's clear to me that Tua is the more, I guess, outgoing personality. Taulia is kind of shy and reserved a little bit. And you can just pick those things up when you're talking to these kids and interviewing them. Tua is definitely the more outgoing quarterback. And the thing that Tua had that Taulia, that I haven't seen personally, Tua just had that energy that everybody else around him wanted to gravitate toward. You can see that last 2 years ago now at the opening out in Nike headquarters. Everybody on Tua's team wanted to play for Tua. And maybe we'll see that if Taulia gets the Elite 11 invite later on, but that was definitely something that was apparent 2 years ago at the Nike opening camp. Jerry Jeudy was on his team out at the Nike opening camp, and Jeudy wasn't committed to Alabama at that point, but and Jeudy was so reserved. You can probably get 5 words out of Jeudy, and that's a lot. But when I asked him about Tua, he just had a big smile on his face, and you can tell that Tua definitely had that energy around him that people wanted to play for. So we'll see if that happens with Taulia as well.
Thanks, Chris and Ben, for joining me on the latest edition of the SEC Recruiting Notebook. Stay tuned for all our recruiting coverage on SECCountry.com.